Hey everyone, I hope you're having an awesome day. I'm Macy Reyes, and this is the Redline Report powered by HireMaster. On this week's Inside the Numbers, 2 out of 3 truck drivers prefer working for smaller fleets. In a recent poll by truckersnews.com, nearly 45% of drivers said they prefer working for a carrier with less than 50 drivers, and another 22% prefer to work with a carrier with 51 to 100 trucks. Drivers cited reasons from not having cameras inside the truck to being more family oriented to better pay. Although they also noted that larger fleets often do have better insurance rates and discounts on fuel and tires. The least desirable fleets to drive for, according to the poll, are larger fleets with only 8% interested in fleets over 1,000 trucks and only 4% interested in fleets between 500 and 1,000 trucks. As companies work to recruit great drivers to join their fleet, understanding what drivers want in a new opportunity is critical, especially in their marketing efforts to tell their story and attract great drivers to join their team. In this week's Freight Insight segment, the slowdown in rail services has decreased and caused more congestion within the shipping industry. Eamon Monahan, Vice President of Environmental Affairs and Workplace Safety of the Corn Refiners Association, stated in a Supply Chain Dive article, quote, "What we see in the food industry is now daily disruption of industry operations because of rail service failures. And that was not occurring at the end of last year," end quote. There are currently 160 rail embargoes approved or in transport, according to the American Railroads database maintained by Rail Inc. However, 135 of these embargoes are for congestion or to help relieve congestion. BNSF has experienced several issues related to staffing and severe weather conditions. With the number of issues rising, more rail cars have been added in hopes of bringing congestion down and keeping up with shipping volumes. However, this is not the case. In fact, adding more rail cars has had the opposite effect and created more of a bottleneck by decreasing rail speeds and leading to slower delivery times of products. With the 4th of July holiday and vacations, workers will be less available. And to combat this shortage, BNSF is, quote, offering vacation buybacks and has temporarily transferred crew members from other parts of the network to the Southern Transcon corridor, end quote. These vacation buybacks are a last ditch effort to help motivate crew members to continue working through this last holiday weekend and potentially gain back some momentum in rail services. As truckload volumes and pricing continue to fluctuate, the LTL market remains solid with forecasts of steady growth despite the current economic concerns. Although LTL rates have increased by 34% year over year, according to the Producer Price Index, this increase has been a gradual and consistent increase over the past year. The current LTL freight volume suggests no slowdown in LTL demand. As the steady expansion of LTL networks continues, the stability and predictability of the LTL market makes it a desirable mode of transportation. And according to Tom Schmidt, president and CEO of Forward Air, quote, LTL is going to be for the next several years the most valuable set of letters in U.S. transportation, end quote. In the news this week, U.S. driver recruiting and retention continue to be challenging for trucking companies. However, the $1 trillion Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act signed into law last November includes provisions designed to entice women and younger drivers to join the industry. Robin Hutchinson, the acting chief at the Federal Motor Carrier and Safety Administration, recently proposed and formed the Women in Trucking Advisory Board, which will kick off in late summer or early fall, with board members set to announce no later than the end of the summer. Hutchison noted in a recent Transport Topics article, quote, its role will be to identify barriers to women entering and staying in the driving profession, end quote. The purpose of the board is to help provide recommendations to address the concerns of women looking to join the trucking industry. There are many issues to discuss relating to safety risks, workplace harassment, and the lack of female mentors. issues that currently discourage women from entering the industry. With the help of the Women in Trucking Advisory Board, more women will find truck driving appealing and interesting as a career. Ultimately, this will help address the driver shortage as women currently comprise less than 10% of drivers within the United States. In other news, DB Schenker, a leader in supply chain management and logistics solutions, announced its plans to acquire USA Truck, a trucking company with 2,100 employees and a fleet of over 1,900 trucks. The acquisition is a part of DB Schenker's plan to become a full service transportation provider, which included the acquisition of two trucking companies in Spain to build out its European network. In the deal to acquire USA Truck, a publicly traded company, DB Schenker will pay cash for all outstanding shares at a price of $31.72 per share. And once approved by shareholders and regulators, USA Truck would become a private company and merge into DB Schenker. According to Joe Jaska, DB Schenker's executive vice president of land transport for America's region, quote, "We view this transaction as a platform for growth, and by combining these organizations, we will greatly enhance our presence in the North American land transport space." End quote. The acquisition includes no plans of laying off workers or making changes to the current pricing structure of existing services. And that's all for this week's Redline Report. I'm Macy Reyes. Be sure to follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch each episode. And leave us a like and a comment. We'll see you next time on the Redline Report powered by HireMaster.